In this video, we're going to continue our additive and multiplicative comparisons using the broomstick problem. So here are our broomsticks, and recall that the red broomstick is 3 feet long, the yellow is 4 feet, and the green is 6 feet long, as described here. So in part C, we're asked the green broomstick is blank times as long as the yellow broomstick. So we're going to use this diagram as a visual aid. We want to compare the green broomstick, which is 6 feet. So each one of these rectangles has a length of 1 foot, to the yellow broomstick, which is 4 feet. So now we want to see how many copies of the yellow is the green. How many copies of the yellow broomstick is the green broomstick? Okay. So basically we're using this yellow broomstick as our unit of measure. So this is 1 copy of the yellow broomstick, and we want to see how many yellow broomsticks make up a green broomstick. So here's 1 copy of a yellow broomstick, and now notice we have 2 feet here, and if we compare that to the 4 feet for the yellow broomstick, this is 1/2 of a copy of a yellow broomstick. So we have 1 and 1/2 copies. So our result is 1 and 1/2 copies. Okay. Now, notice using the original values, if we compare 6 to 4 multiplicatively, we would find the ratio of 6 over 4, which simplified equals 3 over 2. And notice 3/2 is equivalent to 1 and 1/2. Okay. So in a lot of these examples, we'll prefer the ratio fraction form to the mixed number form. And notice it's a lot easier to find this value. We just took the value, the length of the green broomstick, and divided by the length of the yellow broomstick. Okay. Let's look at the next one. Now here we're going to compare the yellow broomstick to the green, but the green is going to be our unit of measure. So there's the yellow, and here's the green, and notice I shaded them in different places. Okay, so this is our unit of measure, and the first one we want to see how many copies of our unit of measure are in the top one, the yellow one. Now notice the yellow broomstick is shorter than the green broomstick, so it's going to be a fraction of the green broomstick. So in the previous example, we had 1 whole copy plus 1/2 a copy. Here, the yellow is definitely less than 1 copy of the green. Well, what fraction is it of the green? The yellow is 4, so it has 4 feet out of the 6 feet of the green. Okay. And simplified, this is 2/3. So the yellow broomstick is 2/3 time as long as the green broomstick. Okay. So let's look at the next one. Here we want to compare the yellow broomstick to the red broomstick. So the yellow broomstick is 4. And the red broomstick is 3. I'm going to use pink because I don't have a red highlighter. Okay. And now we're using the red broomstick is our unit of measure. So how many copies of this red broomstick are in the yellow? So notice we have 1 full copy, And then we have one piece left over, and when we compare that to the red broomstick, that is 1/3 of a red broomstick. So it's 1 1/3, which as a fraction we can write as 4/3. So notice it's the length of yellow divided by the length of the pink. Okay, and again, remember that this is basically a division problem. We want to say how many copies of 3 are in 4. Well, that's the ratio 4:3. So 4/3. And finally, we're going to compare the red to the yellow. And I hope you're beginning to see the patterns. When we compare in the other direction, now we know that we're using the yellow as our unit of measure, and the red is smaller than the yellow. So the red is 1, 2, 3 out of 4, or 3/4 of the yellow. And notice 3/4 is the reciprocal of 4/3. And again, that's always going to be the case when you change the direction of the multiplicative comparison.